Ah, yes. What is up, you horror nerds? Hopefully you're doing well. I've got a late 80s film we need to discuss. Let's get into it. Let's see if it's any good. I don't know. I'm talking about Hell High. So this came out in 1989. Rated R. Runs for only about 84 minutes, which is pretty wild. But if you haven't heard of this one, let's talk about it. Let's dive in. Teenage kicks take a decidedly dark turn in director Douglas Grossman's Hell High, a twisted tale of delinquency pushed to its horrifying extreme, where Class of 1984 meets Spit on Your Grave. When high school football hero John quits the team, he winds up falling in with a group of outcasts led by sadistic Dickens. With a willing new recruit in tow, the gang's youthful hijinks soon spirals into a night of abject horror when they decide to play a cruel prank on the home of their teacher, Miss Storm, who, unbeknownst to the youngsters, harbors a dark and tormented past. Hell High, which was released in some international territories as Raging Fury, is a singular entry in the late 80s horror canon, melding elements of the revenge movie with the trappings of the slasher genre to do delirious effects. School's out forever. All right, so this is, gosh, what a freaking cool cover, though. That's why I love Arrow, man. They redo the covers and they just look cool. I'm just obsessed with Arrow videos, and even if the movie is trash, I'm like, yeah, I got one. But anyway, this Hell High was directed by Douglas Grossman. Primarily did low-budget horror and exploitation films for the most part, and Gregory A. Miller wrote this. Limited output, mostly obscure late 80s horror films. But, you know, two people getting together, trying to make an impact here. They ended up getting William Forsythe, which, of course, you know, back in '89, may not be who he is now, but Devil's Rejects, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, he's all from that, as well as Kim Myers, who's on Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. So there's some cool little old school throwbacks for people that have been in newer films that you should check out. Now, I will say this is pure late 80s slasher energy with the grimy, mean-spirited tone that we all love from late 80s films. The school-based setting really, you know, taps into the teen slasher tropes that we saw a lot in the late 80s, and it's effective and it works, and it's and I enjoyed that aspect of it. It does have a short runtime, like I said, which keeps it moving, and it's definitely easy to revisit and chuck in and enjoy. Quick movie with friends, and an enjoyable one at that. Now, even with this being remastered under Arrow and stuff, it is still a very low budget film, and it shows especially in the performances and in the production. Now, most of us don't expect much when we hit these late 80s films. We want a late 80s film that's just fun to watch, you know, but this one even has the thin characters with very little emotional depth to them, so it does make it a little bit distracting and kind of cheesy. The slasher mystery isn't really clever or surprising at all, so I mean, you kind of see it coming, so there's not much left to the imagination on this one. But it was also released under Twisted Justice and, like I said, Raging Fury, so it's had a couple different names when it's been dropped out there. It's one of the many late 80s slashers that kind of flew under the radar theatrically. It has gained some cult internet notoriety, mainly just because of Will Forsythe, you know, and of course the VHS era availability. Often grouped with other obscure high school slashers rather than top-tier genre ones. But you know what? I think it's worth the watch. I think it's worth being in your collection. Obviously, Arrow did too. They can't go wrong, right? It's a rough, no-frills, late 80s slasher. Won't change the genre. You know, it won't be groundbreaking, but it scratches the itch if that's what you're looking for. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. Hell High. If you've seen it, comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, subscribe, hit the death bell for notifications. I got more coming to you.